Good morning. Happy Monday. It is April 8th and my motivational Monday. Oh my goodness. First of all, get out and enjoy this beautiful weather, okay? Because we know it was sunny on Saturday, gloomy on Sunday, and now it's back to sunny Monday. So make sure you get out and enjoy it. But today I really want, I got to share a little family story. So this weekend, my children, they have piggy banks. And they're these big Crayola crayon piggy banks that we found at like Costco. And it's been taking a while to fill them up. But this weekend, I made them sit down and roll coins. So for some of you, I know old school, yes, I'm talking about the brown paper bag looking, $2 worth of nickels, $5 worth of, uh, what is it, $5 worth of, no, $2 worth of nickels, $10 worth of dimes, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm talking about. And so my children, my son is 4, and my daughter has heard this before. She's 11. I started saying this to her at about 8 years old. When every time we got in the car, she thought she was supposed to buy something. And I'm like, where are you getting this thought that every time we get in the car, we're going somewhere to buy something? And I had to really check myself because part of it was from me. Like, oh, okay, let's go through the McDonald's drive-through, grab a coffee and get them like a little icy or whatever. So when I started getting really intentional about eating out too much and really setting it into a budget, I started telling her, I was like, hey, 8-year-old Natalia has to take care of 21-year-old Natalia, because she had started telling me some of the things that she wanted as she got older, like one of them being a condo with a maid and a butler and a cat. And I was like, okay, that's very specific, and I appreciate it and I love it. But the picture of the condo that she pulled up was like this palatial. I said, oh, you are truly my child because you have great taste. But I told her, I said, okay, that's totally fine. Well, let's start doing some math and help you understand what that looks like and what it's really going to take and what it costs. And I told her, I said, 8-year-old Natalia has to take care of 21-year-old Natalia. And therefore, 8-year-old Natalia can't eat up 21-year-old Natalia's money. And she at first was like, well, what do you mean? I'm going to be 21. Well, where's 21-year-old me? And I was like, oh, she's coming. You got to grow up and become her. And so I had the same conversation with my 4-year-old son, but he took it to a whole new level. He was, as he was sitting there and we were going through his piles of coins, he was picking them up and dropping them. He was like, oh, mom, look at how rich I am. I'm just so rich. And I was like, yes, honey, you absolutely are. And I told him, I was like, yes, 4-year-old Titus has to take care of 40-year-old Titus. And he was like, I'm going to be so rich at 40. Look at all these coins. They're just going to keep going. And he was just so excited to hear that. And I was just so surprised that 4-year difference of having that conversation and the impact that I know it's going to have on both of their lives. I could see it living very presently in my daughter's life now at 11. When we go into the grocery store, she's very intentional about her budget. I tell her the amount that she can spend, and she will come literally like 50 cents under, and I'm talking including tax as well, right? And if she ever hits like a little bit past, she'll look at me and it's like, would you be able to assist in this purchase, right? So we have this great relationship, and I'm grateful that I'm starting this conversation and this attitude with them about money and understanding of patience and does it work into a budget? Can you afford it? Let's think about it. And how will that impact you today? So, and in the future. So with that, I also given them this acronym for PLAN. And the acronym I'm going to share with you guys this morning, it is prepare and perform logical little actions and activities now. And that's going to help you be ready for the future. So again, P, prepare and perform, L, little logical, A, actions and activities, N, now. And that will help you, kind of go forward in your life. So that is the little antidotes that I give my children, yes, at ages 4 and 11, that they get and they gravitate to, and they have now started to incorporate them in their everyday lives. So now when we get into the car, one, I've checked my actions because I had to remember they're watching every single thing I do every time we go to the store. If it's not on the grocery list, we can't get it. And so they respect that understanding now. And it's creating this activity and this interaction with managing money that, I will be honest, my parents did not teach me. And I love my parents dearly. My mother and I have this disagreement all the time. She's like, I taught you how to balance a checkbook. And I was like, no, you didn't. I didn't learn how to balance a checkbook until 11th grade. I'll never forget it. I was in this group called Future Business Leaders of America. I was a treasurer, but you had to, like interview for the role and everything like that. And one of the things I'll never forget, Miss Hadley at Providence St. Mail, bless her heart, she taught us how to balance checkbooks in one of our classes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so simple. This is so easy. I appreciate the exposure that I got. And, we can't fault our parents for what they don't know or what they think they did, even though they didn't. We have our experiences, we have our remembrances of things, and they have their remembrances of things. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is, are we doing things that are repeatable in our lives now and sustainable? And then secondly, are we setting them as true day-to-day practices? Are we really living them out? And so I have come to the absolute understanding that one of my responsibilities as a parent is to truly lay the groundwork for my children to understand and have a different interaction and attitude about money in the future, and the ways to handle it and really look at it as a tool, which is I guess it could be argued. No, it can't be argued. It's a necessity tool for life. And if they don't know how to truly handle and manage that tool, am I setting them up for success or am I setting them up for failure? And I don't want them to be at the age I was when I started learning all these things about how to deal with and navigate a financial world. So yeah, there's it. However old you are right now, right? I'm 44-year-old Noelle is still taking care of 88-year-old Noelle, right? I double the life out there. But I want you guys to really, think about it, implement it. How many of you all are taking care of your future selves now? Because it's important and you cannot forget it. But again, how can you do that? Prepare and perform logical little actions and activities now. There's your plan. If that's where if you want a certain number, like they say, what's your number? What's the number you need to retire on and live on in the future and all of those? What little logical actions are you doing now in preparation to achieve that? So there's my challenge for you. Well, I won't call it a challenge. There's my motivation for you this morning. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you guys. Talk to you again.